let's go ahead and jump right into the Ralphie report. Sound good to you?
Yeah, I did have one more thing. I know Super Bowl didn't go your way. Thoughts
I
on
knew
that?
it.
Thoughts on that? You know?
Yeah, it's good. I was hoping I could get away without get away without
Yeah,
having to talk about it.
Miles, I'm not rubbing it in, dude. Like I said,
No.
I'm a Raiders fan, and we are so far removed from a Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just want to
No,
check on you all.
There's no rubbing it in. I went into that fully prepared for that to be the outcome. I think, as I kind of alluded to, I think I said it. You can go back and look at it. Is that I kind of felt that might have been the end of the road. They had a couple of games that were pretty close, or maybe a little bit lucky. And you look at some of the metrics that come out about their statistics against teams with winning records. It was like, yeah, it was kind of, you were playing with house money with how you got there in the first place. So I was never sweating it. It was more just a joy to see the Patriots back in the Super Bowl. So that was my win, at least.
Okay. Well, I just had to check in on you.
I appreciate that. Yep, I appreciate that. Cool. Let's jump into the Ralphie report. Where's our favorite little banner we put up? Here it is. You got it? Yeah, let's go. Gotcha. Cool. So a couple of things we skipped from last week that I wanted to touch on, just because I think it is important to kind of keep up with just some Buffs adjacent topics. First one being former Buff Casey Roddick has been promoted to offensive line coach at Georgia State. Let me go ahead and throw this tweet up here really quick. So Casey Roddick, I think you played 1 or 2 seasons at CU. Do you remember off the top of your head?
Nope. I'm not even going to sit here and be like, I remember him. I do not remember him. So
Casey Roddick was on that 2022 team. So the 1-11 team, played offensive line. He ended up transferring to Florida State, played all 12 games with the Buffs, and had a couple of seasons prior that he played some seasons. And so, a lot of kind of newer Buffs fans may not know who Casey is, but and that's not a shot at you at all. More just like the general public. Yep. But it's just cool to see former Buffs getting opportunities to coach and be in that staying in the game, essentially.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, it is always, you have a leg up anytime you play the position at such a high level. And, this is, was it Georgia State? I think you said.
Yep. GSU.
I mean, that's fantastic. Good for him though. Love that.
Absolutely. Awesome. Next one on the list. I'm going to skip this one here, but we're going to go into one that it's kind of a relevant topic that has been brought up amongst Buff Nation and kind of just some recruiting topics. But a little bit of a disappointing outcome that was announced recently for 3-star, borderline 4-star Reese Russell. Buff legacy, right? This is the brother of Brady Russell, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Out of Highlands Ranch, leaves Colorado out of his top 6. I think there had been a lot of discussion around improving the in-state recruiting with Coach Marion. I know Coach Marion, primarily a lot of what he's known about or known for is kind of the skill guys like running backs, wide receivers. Maybe there's some room to be done in terms of recruiting the offensive line, but what are your thoughts here in terms of like Colorado in-state recruiting versus, maybe missing out on a kid like this?
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, and again, that's Valor Christian right there. Those of us in the Colorado, Denver area or that follow all of Colorado football, high school football know, yeah, that's a big time school. And again, you got to tap into those Valor Christians. You got to tap into those Cherry Creeks. Yeah, they gotta start building those relationships ASAP, because this is one that again should not get away from the state of Colorado.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they're Matt McChesney kid, a lot of discussion there and how people feel about his development. I think he develops good players but again, we wish him the best. You see the schools that are on his list. He's obviously
big time,
big game hunting, as they say.
Yeah. Yep.
So we wish the best to Reese, and hopefully he reconsiders maybe that top 6 when it becomes a top 3, we can sneak our way in there, but we'll see. Next on the list, let's talk about an actual Colorado Buffalo and some cool things that are developing behind the scenes, right? So we've talked a lot about the offensive line, filling that Jordan Seaton role, who's going to play guard, who's going to play tackle, where are they going to sit? And the interesting one, the most surprising one of the offseason, Javon McFadden, Jordan Seaton's cousin, comes into the Buffs from Ohio State, originally listed at 6'3", 295. looks like he's added a good amount of muscle. So up to probably in the 320 range. Manny, what do you think that we could maybe see McFadden on the interior? Do you think he maybe stays on the outside? What are your thoughts?
I think you're going to see him at right tackle. It's just my
really
prediction.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that is mine. 25 pounds, right? Because he's what, 6'5", 6'6" ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah, right in that range. Correctly.
You look at that, right? And I think where they kind of get in a bind with that last year was Zy Chrysler. That is a humongous person to start with, and secondly, that is a huge interior player that makes it really hard on the quarterback to see over, right, as much as we want. But that is, typically your guards are going to range, not much higher than 6'4", 6'3", 6'4". It's hard to see over him. So I would like to say we would probably see him at right tackle is my guess. So but I do love the adding of weight. I mean, these dudes are coming in, with McFadden, right? He was a freshman last year coming in raw, still need time to develop, and hopefully getting rid of that freshman muscles, adding that, the college power 4 muscle now.
Yeah. And as a quick correction, just because I thought he was also in that 6'5" range, he's actually 6'3". So he might be 6'3", 220 or 320. Could be a competition. I think there's going to be a lot of competition on that offense.
You're looking at guard then, would be my just off the top of my head. I don't know why I had him at 6'5", 6'6", maybe because he was originally an offensive tackle right at Ohio State.
He was, yeah. And again, the 6'3", 295 was always a little bit concerning for anywhere on the offensive line, and so that being that young. But
he's a guard. He'll play guard.
Probably. Seems like it.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. Sticking on the kind of offensive side of things, I'm not sure. Did you get a chance to catch the interview that our guy Philip Dukes did with Coach Marion the other day?
No, I didn't even know. Man, okay.
Oh, you got to check it out, man. It's awesome. Shout out to Dukes. Does great work.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot him a text and be like, bro, I didn't know you had Brendan Marion on. So yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out to Dukes though. But man, he's love Dukes. Love Dukes, man. Love the dude.
This was I can't remember what this came out on the 9th. So this was like over the weekend. I had a college football 26 going. I was listening to this like a 45-minute interview. So I was, I had myself a little beer and was kicking back and listening to Coach Marion speak. And he's so both Dukes and Coach Marion are very well spoken. But the part I wanted to acknowledge with this was him saying that when he was at UNLV and the highly potent offense that they had there, with Maava, right? That's the one who transferred to USC.
Yep.
They had 9 guys with over 50 touches. And this is something that I think is really interesting in relation to the guys we brought in, the threats we have on offense. If you had to spitball, right? And I'm just going to put you on the spot here, right? 9 guys, 50 touches. Who are your 9?
DeKalen Taylor. Let's go. Jeez, man, See, I'm just kind of curious what they're going to do at receiver, right? So I would say DeKalen Taylor, you can lock that one in.
Sure.
Simeon Price, you can probably lock that one in.
Simeon Price is gone, remember?
I thought he won that. What am I thinking?
No, Simeon Price went to Oregon.
Oh my gosh, dude. Holy cow.
Okay, so we got DeKalen Taylor, Michael Welch.
Michael Welch.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were thinking.
Yeah, not Simeon Price. Yeah, I was like Michael Welch. I was almost gonna say Michael Welch left. Anyway, Michael Welch. I don't know how I feel about Quentin Gibson right now.
Quentin Gibson. We got DeAndre Moore. We've got Cam Perry, Danny Scudero, Joseph Williams.
Man,
Sac State guys.
I want to say Quentin Gibson is gonna get there, but man, I don't know if there's enough touches to go around. And again, he's entering his sophomore year. I would say those 5 for sure that we named. And then after that, I mean, I'm kind of – how much do you – so let me ask you this. I'm going to throw it back on you.
Sure.
How much do you think tight end Zach Atkins, how much do you think they're going to use him?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that Zach Atkins probably would be in the 50-touch club. I think that in an offense like Coach Marion, from what I've heard, they tend to be very useful in the blocking game. But – for a young QB like Julian Lewis, I know it's super important to have that, not check down option, but just like a safety net, right? Like just a big body that you can throw to over the middle, someone like that. So I think, admittedly, I think that you could see a scenario where he relies a little bit more on Zach Atkins early, like as he's still developing his awareness in the system And then maybe once more games go on and guys get more, comfortable in their roles, the wide receivers start to ramp up their touches a little bit more. But
what do you think of Richard Young?
Richard Young could be another guy. I don't know if he's a 50 touch guy. I think like if I had to throw out 9 names, I'm thinking Joseph Williams, DeAndre Moore, Danny Scudero, Cam Perry, Kalen Taylor, Michael Welch, Atkins. So that's 7.
7. Yep.
7. Quentin Gibson.
You think he's going to get so? Is Ernest that including Campbell. Special, like his punt return and kickoff?
It's not. I don't think it counts.
Doesn't count, but I could see him getting there with punt returns and kickoffs, though.
Sure. I'm going to put over Quentin Gibson. I'm going to put Ernest Campbell.
Okay.
And then at my 9th spot, I'm going to put Damian Henderson.
Okay.
So that's 4 running backs, 5 receivers, or 3 running backs, 6 receivers.
Yeah.
5 receivers and a tight end. Sorry.
So that would be because 50, 60 catches for receivers really good at a seat, right? So, and we're talking jet sweeps, we're talking all these different formations, right? That they're going to run. So, and that just kind of goes to that they spread the ball out, right? At that, like everybody's involved in the game plan. So, I'm curious to see. I want to go back to that after spring ball.
Yeah, really good point. I think the last point I wanted to make on it was, there's been a lot of talk in his philosophy overall, Coach Marian's, is related to this idea of creating a 5th quarter. And so, speeding up the offense, getting more touches. And like, if that's the case, then you're going to see a lot of guys in those skill positions getting opportunities to thrive. So I'm not overly worried about it. I just want to kind of get your initial thoughts, but we'll come back to it. We'll review.
Ooh, this is a good one. Keith, what does it say? Keith Tunstall. Can you guys visualize seeing Bo Hughley and Zane in a double tight end, Coach Marion using Zach like Raiders use Bowers as H-back in this go offense? Man, Brock Bowers that's a whole different dude, man. And I'm super biased on that. That is like, but I mean, gosh, that'd be fantastic, right? Like,
so you're saying Bo Hughley as your tackle, Zane and Zach as the 2 tight ends.
Yep.
And then I can see it. I think that they're like, and I said this when I did the depth chart video a couple of weeks ago, but I think you'll see some combination of like Zach and either Corbin and Zane when they do run some level of alternate personnel and they want to get more than 1 tight end on the field. I don't think Charlie Williams is a huge threat.
Yeah,
I could see the guy they brought in from UNC, Fisher Clements, 6'7", like, or 6'7".
I'm really excited for Zach Atkins though. Like you've seen flashes last year, and even sitting in our area 108. Hey, did you? By the way, today's the last day to renew your season tickets.
I did renew. Yes, I did. Yeah, I renewed. I was early. Early.
Okay.
I'm hyped. I'm in on this, man. Don't test my fandom.
Okay. Yeah. No, I just want to make sure that you don't need to jump off and make a phone call real quick so you don't miss it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sitting in the stands and you watch him and he's just massive. He's quick with the ball, catches everything thrown at him. It's just, man, it almost feels like last season was a wasted opportunity with him.
Yeah.
And I guess we could say that about tons of positions and players, but I'm a big fan of Zach Atkins.
Yep. I think the overall the creativity of the offense is going to allow for lots of different personnel sets. I saw a play that the Dolphins ran from either 1 or 2 years ago where they had 3 running backs in the backfield. And I'm like, it could be so incredibly fascinating to see how they use the running back rooms and the tight ends in this type of offense, which have been historically underutilized in the Coach Prime system. But let's talk about one of the reasons I renewed my season tickets early. And one of the reasons I'm super excited about this. I wanted to show this. Shout out Kai at I Have Mad Flavor on X. Definitely a good follow. You can't see their tag up there, but that's who this was. Couple of screenshots from some of the well-off videos. I just want to highlight this, man. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. We didn't see this type of energy last season.
No, jeez, look at this.
You got QB1 over here, right in the middle of it. Yaya back here.
Yeah, It's no, you did not. We did not see this last year. This is it feels different. And again, we can come back to this a little bit, mid-season or whenever it is, but we did not see this. It was almost it was too quiet last year.
Too quiet. That's a really good way to explain. Yeah. You got Hakeem Williams over here, I think, going crazy. Yeah, they're going nuts, supporting their teammates.
Love it.
JoJo back here losing his mind. So it's I just wanted to share that because I think it's it's so important to see how the team is bonding and coming together in these early winter workouts.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love it. And then there was Hakeem Williams. We forget about him for some reason. Yeah. Dude, going back to the guys with 50 touches, would it shock you at all if Hakeem Williams somehow transformed into the number one receiver?
It would shock me if he was a number one receiver, 1,000%. Okay. I could see him pushing a 50 touch club if he was really took a giant leap, to be honest. And this has nothing to do with Hakeem in particular. Yeah. He falls into the category of what I've said before, which is if not now, then when. It's kind of the Quincy Wiggins problem where it's if not now, then when. Yeah. I honestly, and somebody asked this a couple of weeks ago, was what are the chances we see 3 to 4 5'9" guys on the field at one time? And I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being a highly possible outcome.
Let me ask you this then. Most just pure raw talent in that receiver room.
DeAndre Moore.
Okay.
I think just raw talent, I think it's DeAndre Moore. I think.
Where do you rank Hakeem Williams?
In just pure
talent, no production, that just you would just show up on a football field. Let's say we showed up to the practice field and the whole receiver room was out there working out. We don't know anything about them. And they're just out there doing their thing, running 40s, everything. Where would you catching footballs, running routes, doing all,
I'm going to say 4.
Okay. I would put him at 1,
you think pure talent?
Pure talent. That dude is, he's former 5-star. Gosh, man, I have that one. And again, that's, stars don't mean anything, but man, when they got him last year, I remember watching his high school film and I was like, what the hell? What am I watching here? And even some of the clips he had at Florida State when he would catch the ball, you were like, what is happening here? Why is this dude not playing? It is. But again, raw talent, all this stuff doesn't mean, and all these stars doesn't make you into this great receiver. But I would probably 1A, 1B, pick one. DeAndre Moore, pick one of them, or Hakeem Williams.
Yeah, the frame is so enticing, 6'2", 220. But I'm just yes, he's one of those guys when you get the ball in his hands, it's wow, he can really make a play, but I'm just he doesn't get the ball in his hands enough. No. It's either a separation issue, it's either a route issue, it's either an effort issue. It's one of those, reasons where I'm you could probably make that argument, yes, but at the same time, Savell Smalls was a 5-star defensive end, and True. So it's not always how the stars
doesn't translate.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.